The immigration raid at MT Baker Roofing in Whatcom County, Washington. The sun was setting over the small town of Whatcom County, Washington, casting a warm orange glow over the bustling streets. The residents were going about the daily routines, unaware of the drama that was about to unfold. At MT Baker Roofing, a local business that had been a staple in the community for years, a sense of unease settled over the employees. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, and the U.S. Border Patrol had been monitoring the company for months, gathering evidence of potential immigration violations. The agents had been working tirelessly, poring over documents and conducting surveillance, and today was the day they would take action. At dawn, a fleet of black SUVs and enforcement vehicles pulled up to the Mount Baker Roofing facility. The agents poured out, their faces stern and determined. They fanned out across the property, surrounding the building and blocking all exits. The employees, many of whom were undocumented immigrants, were caught off guard. They had no idea what was happening, and panic began to set in. Some tried to flee, but the agents were too quick. They were rounded up and taken into custody, their hands cuffed behind their backs. The raid was swift and efficient, with the agents moving quickly to apprehend the suspected undocumented workers. The employees were shocked and frightened, unsure of what the future held. Some were crying, while others were pleading with the agents to let them go. As the morning wore on, the scene became increasingly chaotic. The agents were taking statements and processing the arrested individuals, while the local authorities were trying to make sense of the situation. The community was in an uproar, with many residents expressing outrage and concern. The owner of Mount Baker Roofing, John Smith, was devastated. He had built his business from the ground up, and the thought of losing so many valuable employees was unbearable. He pleaded with the agents to reconsider, but they were unmoved. As the day drew to a close, 37 individuals had been arrested and taken into custody. The community was left reeling, wondering what the future held for these families and the local business. The ICE agents had accomplished their mission, but at what cost? The days that followed were filled with uncertainty and fear. The arrested individuals were facing deportation, and their families were struggling to cope. The community was rallying around them, offering support and advocating for their rights. As the news of the raid spread, protests erupted in the streets. The residents of Whatcom County were demanding justice for the arrested individuals and calling for a more compassionate approach to immigration reform. The local government was under pressure to take action, and the debate over immigration policies was heating up. The MT Baker Roofing raid had sparked a firestorm, and the consequences would be far-reaching. The community was forever changed, and the lives of those affected would never be the same. The question on everyone's mind was, what would happen next? The arrested individuals were taken to a detention center, where they would await their fate. The community was rallying around them, offering support and advocating for their rights. The ICE agents had done the job, but the real work was just beginning. The debate over immigration reform was heating up, with both sides dug in. The residents of Whatcom County were demanding justice for the arrested individuals, and the local government was under pressure to take action. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear: the Mount Baker Roofing raid would have a lasting impact on the community. As the days turned into weeks, the community continued to rally around the arrested individuals. The local businesses were offering support, and the residents were advocating for their rights. The ICE agents had done the job, but the real work was just beginning. The arrested individuals were facing an uncertain future, but they were not alone. The community was behind them, and they were fighting for their rights. The debate over immigration reform would continue, but for now, the focus was on the people affected by the raid. The MT Baker Roofing raid had sparked a firestorm, and the consequences would be far-reaching. The community was forever changed, and the lives of those affected would never be the same. The question on everyone's mind was, what would happen next? The days turned into months, and the community continued to heal. The arrested individuals were facing deportation, but they were not giving up. They were fighting for their rights, and the community was behind them. The ICE agents had done the job, but the real work was just beginning. The debate over immigration reform would continue, and the community would continue to rally around the arrested individuals. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear: the Mount Baker roofing raid would have a lasting impact on the community.